Let's say that someone has never heard of cat cafes before, has no idea what they are. How would you explain it?
A cat cafe is one part coffee house, one part cat foster home. You can come get a cup of coffee and hang out with a bunch of cats. All of our cats are from a shelter, so they are adoptable. But if you aren't looking to adopt, you can make a new friend just to hang out with. So, from my point of view, this happened one day when Mike, my husband, said, "Why don't we open a cat cafe?" I had no previous thought to open one, so he kind of just popped the question. A number of things had led up to this, though. We were living in New York at the time, and we went to the first one that opened up in New York called Meow Parlor, and that was really a fantastic experience. So very soon afterwards, his cat, Mr. Kitty, passed away. We both were not ready to adopt again. Mr. Kitty was 15 when he passed. I knew him for 5 years, and that was really a long lifetime buddy for Mike to lose. But I think the last straw on the camel's back was when Mike's brother tried to quit his job and go to Thailand, and he said, "There are these things called cat cafes. Why aren't there any in the United States?" And we said there are. And later on that day, he popped that fateful question. Well, there were already 3 cat cafes in New York at that time, and we felt that if we were to do this, we had to go somewhere where it hadn't been done before. Michael's from Connecticut, so we decided to move up here, and he said New Haven had to be the place that we did it. Especially since as soon as Mew Haven came out of his mouth, we said, "That's it. We have the name, we have the town. We're gonna try it out."
Where in Connecticut was he from? Just out of curiosity.
It's from Trumbull at the time. When he asked me to open a cat cafe, I was about to laugh because I'd never thought about opening my own business. He has some tangential experience. His father ran his own business. He was part of his cousin's business to start doing IT for large hotel chains, but it's not something that we had thought of doing, and we just went forward with it, figuring it out along the way. We knew that there were many things we had to figure out because it's not like Cat Cafe was written in any laws or regulations when they first created them. So we actually gave ourselves a couple of years to figure it out. This was in 2015 that he had popped the question, and we needed to either move or renew our lease. So we renewed our lease, said, okay, we're gonna take 2 years, we're gonna figure this out, we're gonna figure out the steps that we need to take. We need to figure out what we needed to figure out to create. So it has been a 3-year process between learning what zoning was and how city planning contributes to that, learning the different ways that other cat cafes have dealt with health regulations, whether it's being able to allow people to walk straight from the cafe into the cat lounge, or if we had to create 2 separate entrances, 2 separate spaces completely. So the health department requires that we keep the cafe portion where all the food is made and served completely separate from where the cats reside. So once you come into the cafe, you'll check in, we'll make sure you sign waivers so that you know you're entering into a space where there are cats. You'll order your drink, get something to eat, and then you'll walk outside and you'll enter into our second door where the cats will be. So there will be no cat hair in your food from us, although we caution you, our cats like to lick everything, so be careful of what you bring in. Cats actually have many different personalities. I liken them a lot to humans. Some are really friendly and right off the bat they'll come and say hi. Others you have to get to know. We're fortunate to work with a wonderful organization called the Animal Haven. They are located in North Haven and they've been doing this for 70 years. So they definitely have the expertise to choose the cats that they feel will be good in this environment. Will there be lots of other cats? Will be lots of other people? If anything happens, we are in close contact with them, so they can provide guidance on whether or not a cat maybe is not thriving in this environment as they could be, or maybe if they're getting the sniffles, what's the next step in making sure that they become well.
So it's not that you and your husband are going about this alone, you have guidance from the...
Absolutely. I mean, no small business owner can do anything on their own. It's definitely key to have people like the Animal Haven be able to provide their expertise. So our pop-up was only for 2.5 weeks, and it was really just to test the whole cat lounge aspect, whether or not people would enjoy coming to a space where there are cats, and to potentially adopt them. So we didn't have food at the time. We just had 5 cats who were running around. And we were very fortunate to find that not only did we have over 700 people pass by and come and visit the cats, we also got all 5 cats adopted during that time. So since then, since we've had our health regulations done, the zoning regulations completed, we have expanded our space. We have added that cafe portion where we can now serve coffee and baked goods from local bakeries. We have separated the cafe from the cat lounge. We're doing fantastic.
Was the process of negotiating all this with the health department, with zoning, was that difficult in and of itself? What was that process like?
We went into this understanding that the concept of a cat cafe was new, but we were very serious about doing it and doing it the right way. So it's not negotiating with the different local departments, but working with them. We explained to them our idea and we said, okay, we know that this is new, but you tell us how can we do this, because you guys know what is in the food code, what is in the current zoning ordinances, you help us out. This is a unique business and this is going to provide such great good, not only for the animals, but for the people. So, help us out. And they've been wonderful. Everyone has been very helpful.
What happens when people aren't around, like to the cats? Do they stay here? Or?
The cats are here 24/7. We act as a foster home. So that contributes to their comfort level, because this is truly the cat's temporary home until they are adopted.
And what beverages and food can people expect if they visit?
We have a fairly standard and feels extensive sometimes beverage menu, from regular coffee to lattes and cappuccinos. We also have some bottled drinks. As for our food menu, we work with a number of local bakeries like Moon Rocks and Jackie O Cupcakes, who makes those fantastic cupcakes that are frosted to look like cats. Chip from a Bottle recently started adding to our very full case of cat macarons. So little macarons that are shaped like cats. It's wonderful.
How often are the cats rotated, like the selection of cats that are in here?
So the cats that we receive, the cats that we foster are here to stay until they get adopted. The turnover rate, so to speak, the rate in which they get adopted can vary. Sometimes it's been a couple of weeks. We have some cats who have been here for 4 or 5 weeks right now. Of course, the level of socialization that is required to help these cats become comfortable enough to come out and get to know their potential future family, it varies per cat. We have kittens here that are 3 months old and they're very friendly already. We have cats who are a little bit older, and as I've mentioned, they've been here for 5 weeks, and they are now able to come out and feel confident that there are people here and they're friends.
Let's say a customer walks in on a Monday and sees a cat, falls in love, wants to adopt it. What does that process typically look like?
Well, we're closed on Mondays, but if they come in any other day, they can fill out a form here. We'll review it with them just to make sure that there isn't any missing information. We'll send it over to Animal Haven, and Animal Haven will perform a phone interview. They will call your vet just to make sure that you have been a good pet parent previously. They also will call your references just to make sure that other people will vouch that you'll be a good pet parent. If you happen to live in an apartment building, they'll call the landlord just to make sure you are allowed to have animals, because that would be a shame if you had one and you weren't allowed to have one. But after all of that, should you be approved, you can go over to Animal Haven, complete your paperwork, and then come here and pick up your new furry friend.
And I think a lot of people have this perception of Connecticut that it's sort of difficult to start a business in Connecticut. Was that your impression, or because you make it sound like it's you really got to work with the agencies and all that?
Well, everyone has been wonderful. I've seen things. I've seen the different stories that other cat cafes have had. How things can be. Information isn't passed along, so there's maybe another step that they have to take, and that happens with all small businesses. But everyone has been really helpful, and I think we just didn't have an expectation of when we would open this. We just knew that it would happen, and we just needed to follow all the steps that needed to be done. Of course, things aren't done exactly the way that we wanted them to be, but the fact that we were able to do this, that we were able to bring this new business to Connecticut, it's really amazing. So the obvious benefit to cat cafes is being able to help cats find permanent homes, and that's excellent. That's wonderful, and I don't want to. That's one of the main goals here. But as I continue growing with this business, I see different things. You see people who leave this place and they say they're rejuvenated because being here with cats for a bit of time, just get away from the world, it's calming for them and it's therapeutic. We have people who come from nearby senior centers, and they love being able to see the cats here because maybe they are not yet ready to have a cat of their own. They can't care for one, so being able to come to this kind of environment where they're surrounded by cats is excellent. But one thing that I really want to continue to grow is this aspect of community, because when you come here and there are a lot of people, a lot of cat lovers, they start talking about the cats that are here, and they start bonding over the cats that are here. They start bonding over the stories of their own cats. And there isn't really a way for cat lovers to bond. There is the internet where people love the cat memes, they love cat celebrities, but where are the dog parks for cats? There isn't. The cats aren't usually walking out on leashes. It's very difficult to leash train a cat. So this is really a way for them to come together and to be able to do additional events like cat yoga or crafts with cats, where people can combine different common interests. That's something I'm aiming to do.